Hello again, everyone. This is Game Collector, and this week I have another Transformer. This one is Generations Thunderwing. This is his alt mode. He's loosely, and I use loosely, I suppose loosely, based off of an F-22 Raptor. I really can't see how because of the wings aren't quite properly shaped. This looks nothing like an F-22 Raptor to me. You know, except something about zigzags on a hull. Again, I'm not seeing the F-22 part. In this mode, he obviously has the two little guns up here, which, you know, fire missiles and such. Like that. Both sides. And this little gimmick right here. The little drone jet. Which is based off of his original robot mode. Yes, in G1 he was a pretender. He would have this little tiny drone jet that would turn into a little robot, which is what this is supposed to represent right here. And his pretender shell, which would be an example of this thing, would dock right here. Now, I grew up in the 90s, which was G2, It's Wonderful Neonness, and Beast Wars. And the series that preceded Beast Wars that I'm not going to name. And I never got Thunderwing. I really didn't get any of the late 80s. Hair trigger on that missile right there. So I'm just going to tuck that in and hope that doesn't happen again because I set him down too hard. That aside, his landing gear, you know, every jet transformer. Also lots of kibble, which I do not normally talk about, but it's there. I don't talk about kibble because I usually don't leave it in a stance. It's like, okay, if you're going to complain about kibble, fine. You don't want people to see the kibble, then why talk about it? You're not going to put it in a position like this. Here, see the kibble! And so on. Yeah. I don't talk about kibble because I'm going to put it in jet mode. There's another figure I'm going to talk about the kibble on just to snipe at it, but that's going to be at a much later date and when I acquire said figure. That aside, speaking of robots and kibble, we might as well transform him now. First of all, I just leave the guns on there, but for safety purposes and for the sake of not losing them, I'm just going to pull the missiles out so they don't go flying everywhere. First of all, you tuck these in and pull the wings out. And there are tabs on the back of this right here and here, underneath here and here. And they plug into the legs, or what will be the legs, in the little holes located here and here. And there are the tabs right there by my thumb. Now, with that out of the way, you just angle that down and fold this landing gear up. Pull that chest piece down, what will be the chest piece. This up. This down, that up, and then this down. With this figure is a year old, mind you, and it's already starting to show signs of wear in several parts. Which when I got him, oh my god, favorite figure. Couldn't help but transform him a lot because it felt good. Just lift up the chest here, and that's part of the problem. Part of his transforming gimmick features right here. Pulling out his legs requires movement of the ball joints in his legs, primarily at the hip, which means the ball joints in his legs wear down really quickly. And I'm guessing this is going to be an issue with his remold, which is originally featured. You take this, push that in there, pull the shoulders down, spread out the feet. And you can leave them like this, raise the guns up, or just leave them down like this. I prefer it like this, which is also reminiscent of his Shattered Glass version, if you've seen that. Look it up on Transformers Wiki. Like so. And now I can slip the missiles back in. Ah, not looking. Now, as I was saying, his successor, which is going to be Sky Shadow, which was originally Black Shadow, changed for obvious reasons. Raise that up, back him off a bit, so you can see all of him. Ah, see, that's the problem. Now, the problem, as stated, is with his joints and the movement thereof. I don't remember which leg it is. They're finicky. Since I haven't been playing with him or touching him that much, I'm hoping that his joints will tighten, because by moving them a lot, I've noticed that this... Ah, yeah, right there. Hope you can see in there. I got a flashlight right here to help. Right in there, you can see that little white bit in there. Move up the arm in that cup. Right where my thumbnail is, right in there, that little white part. That is wear. That is bad. It hasn't cracked yet. And it's not showing up on the left leg, but I really like this figure a lot. And fortunately, if he does break, I can get another one real fast because he's a shelf warmer in these parts. But I don't care. He's my favorite shelf warmer. Now, the other reason why he's my favorite, and this is because before this figure came out, I read up on the IDW Dreamwave comic book version, and I really liked the artwork of him. Look at that head! It used to be, he looks like a demon or something, or a jack-o'-lantern, and since I have the flashlight around, his eyes are light piped orange. That's cool! Granted, they'd be cooler if they were piped red or purple or something, but still, the orange makes him look like a jack-o'-lantern. And the head and legs are modeled after the more recent appearance of him in the IDW comics. And while he is a pretender, was a pretender, he does have one odd, unusual gimmick from the 80s that is not pretender-related, and that would be, well, technically, his two guns, right here, can combine into a big super gun, which is like double Target Master territory. I dare not put it in his hand because, well, I don't want him to fall over. I'm lucky that he's standing up in this position right now. Why not? Let's see if he can handle the weight of his own super gun. Go in there. I am hoping to get Sky Shadow so I can either do dual-wielding, double-barreled super guns, or do like this giant quad elongated gun of big. Anyway, with the gun. Oh yes, and also these little middle points right here are struts for C-joints. And I will give you an example with another figure who will not be reviewed yet, but I'm going to use as accessories. To give you an example of one of the weapons I made. Little tomahawk things. I like to flip them over and boom! Now it's a crossbow. An energy crossbow. If only I had the other one. I could make him dual-wield crossbows, but I never managed to find a figure of... his name is slipping me right now. I'll probably correct myself later for that, or in the next video, or something else. But so far I only have Sunspot. I suppose if I had found another Sunspot, I could still do it. You know, army building. But that aside, posability and movement. He has wrist swivel, elbow, and bicep swivel. Hinge shoulder. Oh no! It's a ball joint on a with a hinge. Oh no! It's a ball joint with a hinge shoulder pad. Never mind. Hee hee. I suppose if you count these are on hinges. Ball joint hips, hinge knee, ball joint ankles with hinge feet. His head is technically on a ball joint. Yes, technically. And his head can rotate 180, but 360 technically, but like Cup, I prefer not to. You remember what happened with Cup, and that was 2 weeks ago. Yeah. But yeah, I really liked this figure when I got him, and I was actually surprised that he's a shelf warmer around here. Oh yes, another little comment. I don't know about the more recent ones, but on mine, if you can see that little white thing right there, that's from putting the gun in and pulling it out a lot. I usually just leave the guns on his backpack. I like to leave them on his backpack. They give him a little extra bulk. Because there are 2 ways you can have him, and this is the way I like him, but as shown, he's supposed to... Let me spread the wings and then demonstrate him to you. Whoop. That's how he's supposed to look. Let me back him off a little bit. With his guns in storage, but... Or are they supposed to be folded down? Either way, his wings are supposed to be spread open like that, but nice. I should have left that missile out the whole time. Except it was on the left instead of... Well, on the right instead of on the left. Thankfully, it didn't go flying across the room and only went on the ground a few inches away. As you can see, he does like to lean forwards a bit thanks to his... Yeah, this is the leg that's kind of loose. It tends to lean backwards, not so much forwards, so I kind of have to make him lean forwards a bit so it doesn't get too loose. Oh yeah, those. Clear these out too. And yes, I still have his card backing, which may cause some wobble. And we will put it right here. You may want to just pause now. And with that out of the way, his stats are Strength 9, Intelligence 6, Speed 8, Endurance 8, Rank 5, Courage 7, Fire Blast / Firepower 10, Skill 5. And I already showed you his light piping and such. Oh yes, the little drone does have that little orange speck, and in the right light or at the right angle it can be piped. Same thing with his cockpit. Now the one thing that I am disappointed on is that the actual artist who designed the IDW one designs his stuff to be toys, and I'm kind of disappointed he didn't get like the big kibble bulky armor mode. But I still like him, which is why I probably will get Sky Shadow when he comes out if I can find him. Generations figures are rare around here thanks to the 3rd movie. I don't know how well you can see that. but the light is really bright. It's an LED flashlight. If you put it right underneath it, even though there's like nothing there, it's like thin enough to where you can cause the little backlight, the little orange thing to light up. Yeah, that's with no light, that's with light. No light, light, so on. I'm not going to bother doing it on the cockpit because that would look stupid. Also, on a note, the friction due to the folding joints and hinge joints on this part, there has been like plastic dust on this piece right here. I haven't noticed on the hinges for his wings yet, but it's the hinges on his cockpit that are leaving that dust. I don't like it. Makes me worry. Because I really do like this figure. I got him for Christmas last year. I'm happy. But enough talk about that stuff, and suppose that's it for old Thunderwing here. I'll see you guys next week, and pat pat. Later.